Okay. There's something wrong here, which I don't know yet what it is. But I think is this. Doesn't seem to be that. Probably more like it. So you don't need to measure all the time. You will develop a sense of negative spaces, distance. So that's the point where you want to achieve. You don't want to be relying on grid systems, comparative measurement, proportional dividers, projectors, transferring images. You want to be able just to draw on what you see anywhere you are without the need of any tools. That's what gives you the ability to start drawing better, understanding distance, plumb lines. And imagine that you're doing a portrait live and you don't have your cheating devices. You can't draw. What are you going to do, guys? So, all right. I still see. Slowly, I'm building up my form. Don't know if you can understand who I'm drawing right now. If the image is clear enough, I hope it will in a few more minutes or an hour, I don't know. But the point is just to achieve likeness, and the only way to achieve likeness is with maintaining decent proportions. Achieving proportion requires measuring. So take your time when you are making a portrait. Portraits are difficult on its own, but with the tools that we have, we're gonna be able just to navigate any portrait that you may find, but no issues whatsoever. That requires to learn how to draw freehand. So if you are watching my channel, you're gonna see I'm a proponent of drawing freehand. Freehand, you can achieve anything you want. Don't have a lot of subscribers yet. I need to get like a better equipment, but I'm not in the position to start like spending money on equipment and etc. when I'm not have a good subscribers yet. So I'm gonna use the money on something else. But the more subscribers I have, the more time I will spend doing this, and I'm gonna be able just to make tutorials longer and more in deep for free, which is the whole idea of this. Let's leave the ear like that for now. Playing too much with that. Shouldn't be focusing too much on one area. You want to be focusing on everything. A little bit of everything. That's a messy type of hair. I can see already the haters posting, insulting me for drawing the character that I am. Remember, guys, I'm an artist, and artists don't necessarily paint who they don't paint according to their beliefs. They paint according to if the portrait it's attractive enough to be made or not. We see beauty in art, and that doesn't necessarily believe that what you're drawing is relevant or it's congruent with your beliefs. And I don't care in this case because it's my favorite director. If you are going just to complain, just complain all you want. I don't care really. I'm not judging character or person. I'm judging his art. So we don't know exactly what happened, or we always tend to act as false witnesses, and being a false witness is against scriptures, and I don't want to be found having an opinion on something that I have no idea what happened. But regardless, I'm talking to you because of this, because recently I made a Trump portrait and people started insulting me and calling me all kinds of things and calling me all kinds of things because they assumed that I was a Trumper. I don't vote. I don't believe in politics. I don't believe in left or right. If you are taking sides, you have been deceived. You're part of the problem. You're trapped in a paradigm, in a left and right paradigm. And in my opinion, if you take sides, you are like what I consider a person that is insane. Insanity consists in doing the same over and over again and expecting a different result. So every time you go and vote every 4 years, believing that the guy that's coming is going to fix the economy, you're going to be better. It's my definition of insanity, because it never happened, never will happen. They both serve the same master, and find who you're not allowed to criticize, and that will tell you who is your master. But regardless, I'm not here to talk about politics because I don't care politics. I don't care what politicians do. And I don't care what an artist or somebody else been doing on their life. As long as their art is relevant in my life, I'm fine with that. I'm not a judge. I'm here just to make art. And you should do too. You should learn from that. Whoever is free of sin, cast the first stone. And I don't know anyone except Yeshua the Messiah, who died for our sins, who is free of sin. I am not, so I'm not going to judge or condemn anybody. But I'm here just to warn. A lot of people don't want to get rebuked, and they say that you're judging them. We're not. We're just helping people to not make mistakes, because their salvation is what's at stake. By the way, let's see. I think it's pretty good so far. I think it's a big nose. There's a very prominent nose. I don't know if you guys already can see who can have an idea of who I'm drawing. I hope you do, and I hope you enjoy his art as I do. I think it may be a very nice portrait. I don't know if I made it a little bit to the left. My composition was, see, one thing that I would like to remind you guys is take your time before starting a portrait. Take your time. don't make the mistake like what I did in here, that I start like going straight into the portrait without analyzing it as I should. Working, see if the composition will work, if the position of the character is right, where I want it. I found that it's not where I want it, but it's not a big deal. I can deal with that. I'm going to be okay. But just as a reminder, take your time, analyze what you're going to paint. You're not going to see any of the great masters or any of the great painters that we have today starting a portrait without checking, analyzing, taking their time, preparing their colors, preparing their tools. I'm doing it against time because I'm running out of light. We're still not in summer, so days are not that long. But I mean, I would remind you to take your time when starting anything in life, project, regardless of what you do. See, rule number one, I sound like a broken record, like this. You never draw flat. You're drawing flat, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Always 90 degrees or at least like this. The higher the better. Reason why I'm not using my easel and have a 90-degree angle is because I'm working not live, I'm working with a photograph. So I'm using this. It's predefined. The problem when you're drawing, like let's say you're drawing flat against a paper, is when you're drawing, you're elongating the figure. You're not realizing, but you're making the face longer, and when you finish it, you're gonna see, oh, look at the head, the forehead is super long, and I don't know how that happened. Well, it happened because you're not seeing it in the correct perspective. Second, what I'm using right now just to do the end, sometimes I use pastels. I found I like better using graphite. I have more control than using pastels, even though I still like using pastels. I use it. I'm always changing and mixing it, but my best works are when I'm doing it with graphite. Now, here was what you had to have in consideration when you're doing graphite or pastels or not working straight with the paint on the canvas, is you have to, if you are painting on top of this like it is right now, graphite and pastels will tend to will muddy the paint, especially if you're using black charcoal. It will mix with the paint, and graphite is even worse because graphite, it's a lubricant, so it will come out. It will come over. So how you prevent this thing from happening is, after I'm done, I'm going to use fixative. I'm going to spray fixative, and that will be okay. And you can paint over it, and even if you use solvent like trementine or mineral spirits, I use mineral spirits, you will not erase the underdrawing. That will protect it. That's the good thing about that. The not so good part is that once you apply the fixative, you can erase. You're gonna have to draw on top of it, and you start like using your painting skills. Let's say that's why I'm a big proponent of telling people to start like drawing freehand, because once you start like painting, in case that you want to start like painting with acrylics or oils or whatever, watercolor is not that bad because it's translucent. but you're gonna lose everything that you do. So you're gonna have to learn how to draw with paint. But if you don't know how to use you don't have the skills of using freehand, you're gonna be in a lot of pain. Second or third, you're gonna see me that I'm not grabbing the paper like this, the pencil, or why am I doing that? Because this is only for detail. Or it's only when you're gonna see me doing this when I'm doing the eye details at the end of the thing. And also I'm not seeing what I'm doing. My hand is on this and I'm saying, so I grab it like this. Some people grab it like this. Some people grab it like this. Some people grab it. I like to grab it from here. But you're gonna see me grabbing it like this most of the time, doing plumb lines, taking measurements, going like this. I'm seeing always with the tip of my pencils always. That's not a big deal. You're gonna get that skill over time, but it's just more convenient. And this is a resemblance of when you start painting. You're not grabbing the brush like a regular pencil. You're gonna have to grab it like this. What I'm telling you, right? When I'm covering big surfaces, I'm using this. I'm going down like that. Then I'm going to go like this. So it will be natural over time, and that's why I'm telling you, start like learning freehand and learn how to draw, because that will be the most important skill. Let me tell you something that when I started drawing not long ago, I think I started taking this seriously in 2019. I think a little bit, a few, 2018 or 19, I think 19, before the pandemic. So, yeah, say pandemic, not pandemic, say pandemic. That's another story. So I decided that I was horrible painting. I was horrible using colors. I was not able just to add shadows on my paintings. So because I was saying, like, listen, if you start like using shadows and using the all the tools just to erase and use work with your shadows and using paper just to soften the charcoal or the pencil, that doesn't eliminate your issues in your drawings. If your drawing is wrong, it doesn't have correct proportion, it doesn't matter how much makeup you put. It's like adding cream onto a cake that doesn't have the biscuit. It will collapse. You will see all the mistakes and issues that you have. So I decided, okay, I'm going to focus only on constructing and getting good at drafting. Drafting should be, I'm not going to put any color whatsoever, any shade whatsoever, except basic shading. And that's it. I forget, people were saying, why you never finish your drawings? Why you never finish your drawings? Why you never finish your drawings? Because I'm not focusing on finishing my drawing, because first of all, I was horrible, but the main points, you can learn how to shade in 2 hours, in 3 hours, once you understand values, which I didn't understand at that time. But my point, thanks God for allowing me just to have mental clarity and decide, well, I'm gonna continue with my goal of getting good at drafting. So I said, fine. I'm gonna get really good at drafting. And I spent like 4 years or 5 years only doing this, only refining, finding my style, which is the most important thing when you start like in art. I don't care if you have any reference on who you like. I never had anyone that I should imitate or copy. I don't care. You learn from every artist, but find your style. It will take you a few years or months, or it doesn't matter. Keep drawing, and you're gonna find a style that you like. Whether it's more oriented or illustration oriented, you're gonna find what kind of you want to like. You want to use the Riley method. You want to use the Loomis method. You're gonna use blocking. You want to use all kinds of methods to draw, but you're gonna have a distinct character in what you do. If you post something online on social media and you see people recognize it's yours, I know this guy is probably posting. This is a new video. This is from Patricio. I don't even have to read who posted this drawing or this painting or something. It has a style. You found your style. You find your language. That's the most important thing in art. If you can achieve that, half of your art career it's already solved. So spend your time on finding your style after all that I was telling you. Basic number one: never draw flat. Grab your finger. Learn to draft. Learn to use freehand. I mean, you can use guides and proportional dividers and projectors, but you're only cheating yourself. You're only deceiving, because you're gonna be faced one time with somebody who will tell you, okay, do me a portrait. Oh no, I can't. Why? Because I don't have my grid. I don't have my ruler. It's gonna take probably an hour or so just to do all the grid. And besides that, on the grid, you're not gonna learn how to draw. You're gonna only move from point A to point B here, small, and you're gonna spend more time drawing the grid and counting numbers. And I consider that thing extremely. You can go wrong. You're doing math, counting line, rows, and columns, and that's not my definition of having a good time doing art. But hey, if you want to do that, more power to you. I'm a big proponent of learning how to draw freehand. Not because I'm an elitist, and I don't consider other ones who are not using artists. No, of course not. There's a point for everything. Let's say that you have like a lot of work, you have a lot of commissions or something. Of course, you're gonna try just to be more productive. You're gonna use a projector. I don't have anything against that, but make sure you already know your skills. You need to have your skills. You master your skill, and you can do anything you want after that. Because it will be a point where you're not gonna rely on anything, and you're gonna need to draw, and nothing is gonna come because you don't have that skill. So with that being said, let's continue with this. So basically, I already start having my pretty happy with this so far. But remember, painting is not the same as this. When painting, everything can go wrong. But once you understand how to draw, you can manage anything, even with paint. And even if you can't find your source anymore because it's under the paint, you should be able just to understand distance, negative spaces. As I said, big proponent of using freehand method. Another one thing that I don't like is you're always gonna see me doing comparative measurement, right? I don't care if this source that I have, it's big or small, it doesn't matter. If you compare, you can do it the same way, bigger, smaller, or something. So what I mean with that is, like, most of the ateliers, they favor the side to side. They put it next to each other, so you're gonna have the same distance, the same height. So all you have to do is, that the head ends in here, and then you go on your canvas and you make a line in here, and you make a line in here, and you make a line in here, and that's okay. It's easy. But if you don't have the ability to be next to your source, let's say that you're painting live, you're not gonna be next to the model. You're gonna be far from the model because you need to take measurements. You're gonna have to. You're doing landscape. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be painting kilometers away or miles away. You need to know how to take comparative measurements. So I have a video showing you how you take measurements. But as I said, I need more subscribers, guys. I mean, I can't. I wish I had more time. I can dedicate more on this, but I don't have the blessing of doing this full time, which is probably my goal when I retire. If I can live on this and do more tutorials and teach, I guess I'm very good at teaching and I want you guys start being able, you never know, maybe you guys can be able just to make money doing paintings or doing drawings. It's like, it's a skill that you can achieve. Everybody can learn how to draw. It's just like any other thing. It's not about talent. It's about how consistent you are in making efforts just to get better. That's all there is. So when you see a guy like acting like a diva and he's an artist, etc., just tell him go somewhere else, because art is. It's not about art. It's not about talent. Yeah, some people is more predisposition, but it's just like all those prodigy childs that they started playing music or stuff like that. But there's a point where everybody finds the right. They all get into the same level. Starting early or starting late, it doesn't matter. As I said, I started like doing this when 2019, 2020, 2018, I think, 2018 or 19, around that time. And I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm pretty decent on what I'm doing, and I'm able just to do amazing paints that makes me happy.